All right, welcome back to your favorite technical mathematics course. We're going to take a look at some basic concepts of angles, introduce some terminology. So, first of all, an acute angle is any angle that's less than 90 degrees. Like maybe this is 30 degrees. So this angle DEF or angle E, if you want to use the vertex there, is 30 degrees, right? Anything less than 90 degrees. But if you're more than 90 degrees, like so let's say you're 110 degrees on this angle GHJ, or you could call it angle H here as well. This one is obtuse. So obtuse is fat, acute is skinny. Adjacent angles means next to, so they have a common vertex. So adjacent next to, adjacent next to. Vertical angles are equal. That means these are opposite angles. So if this is 20 degrees, then this one over here would be 20 degrees as well. So anytime you have two straight lines, those are vertical angles. So if this one's 25 degrees, this would be 25 degrees, vertical angles. Supplementary means, I like to think as straight, supplementary straight, a straight line. So they add up to 180. So if this is 60 degrees here, this would be 120 degrees would be the supplement of 60 degrees, because 60 and 120 equal 180. So supplementary angles add up to 180. Complementary angles, I think corner. So if this angle is 65, then its complement would be 25, because they have to add up to 90. So let's do this first and find the measure of the complement of 30 degrees. So if we have a 30-degree angle, its complement right here above it would have to be 60 degrees is the complement, because 30 and 60 make a corner. In other words, they're complementary, they're 90 degrees, right? What about the supplement, straight line, 30, the supplement of 30 degrees? Well, 30 plus what is 180? Hopefully you're thinking it's got to be 150 would be the supplement. The supplement is 150 degrees. Because 30 and 150 add up to 180. Supplement straight, complement corner. All right, let's do a little problem solving here. It says, number one, AC is perpendicular. By the way, this is B right there. AC, so here's AC, the base, it's perpendicular to BE. Well, perpendicular, that means perpendicular. That means they make a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to write my little 90-degree angle sign right there on one of those sides. Number two, it says FB. So here's FB in red, is perpendicular to DB. I know it doesn't really look like it, but those actually make a 90-degree angle right there. And finally, the third given, angle CBD. So I'm going to go from C to B to D. CBD, so this angle right here is 65 degrees. Find the measure of FBA. So find the measure of FBA. So they want this measure right here. What's this measuring as question mark? Okay. Well, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 65 degrees. And I'm going to say, well, since I have 65 degrees, I know angle DBE must be, because 65 and this angle right here where I put the question mark in black right there, they have to add up to 90 degrees because they're complementary. So that must be 25 degrees. So let me erase the question mark and let me punch in. That's got to be 25 degrees, right? Because they got to add up to 90. So that we know. Secondly, now look at the red one, the red 90-degree angle. If since angle DBE is 25 degrees, then we know angle, let's put it in red right here, the question mark FBE must be 65 degrees because those two add up to 90. So that's 65 degrees right there. And now let's look on this left-hand side. We know this is 90 degrees. Those two add up. So I'm looking for the green question mark. So since angle FBE is 65 degrees, we know, because that's 65 plus that last angle, angle FBA must be 25 degrees. Because 65 plus 25 on the left-hand side must add up to 90. Let's take a look at this next one. It says find the angle of angle 4. So angle 4 right here and angle 3 right there. What would those have to be? Well, first of all, it says this is given. Angle 1 equals angle 2. So let's start with over here on this left-hand side. See the 140 degree? So angle 1 would have to be, because 140 and angle 1 have to add up to 180. So angle 1, so number 1, since 140 degrees plus angle 1 equal 180, they're supplementary, then angle 1 must be 40 degrees. So let's go ahead and write in the 40 degrees. 40 degrees. Yeah, that's that angle right there. And then given, they tell us angle 1 equals angle 2, so angle 2 is also 40 degrees. So let's go ahead and put 40 degrees right there where angle 2 is. And now what I'm going to use is vertical angles. These opposite angles, if you will. So angle 2 by vertical angles, angle 2 must equal angle 4. And angle 2 is 40 degrees. So angle 4 equals 40 degrees. Okay, there's one of our answers. Angle 4's got to be 40 degrees. Now lastly, if you notice, 3 and 4 are on a straight line. So finally, angle 3 plus angle 4 are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. And we know angle 4 is 40 degrees. So minus 40 minus 40, angle 3 has to be 140 degrees. So now let's talk about corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are when you have a transversal. So that's crossing two parallel lines. So notice the red line, those two are parallel here. So the transversal, let me put it in green, crosses through. That's the transversal line crosses through. And that creates what's called corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are, like, let me do angle A, and its corresponding angle is angle E. Those are corresponding angles, both on the upper left angle of the two parallel angles there. So those two are equal. Not only are A and E corresponding, but you also have B and F would be corresponding. Not only are those two corresponding, but D, bottom right, and H are corresponding. And finally, C, bottom left, and G would also be corresponding or equivalent angles. Okay? So like if, for example, let's say they gave you one angle. Okay, like let's say they said, let me do angle H here. So let's say given angle H is 100 degrees. Okay, let me write that in. That's 100 degrees. Well, if you know that, you can actually solve the rest of this. So number one, by corresponding angles, H corresponds with which other angle, you guys? Of course, H corresponds with D. So angle D must be 100 degrees. So let's write that in. That's 100 degrees. Now let's use by vertical angles. By vertical angles, so that's the opposite angles. If H is 100, then E is 100. Angle E must be 100 degrees as well. 100 degrees. And since D is 100, angle A is 100 degrees as well, right? And then let's just keep going with this. Now I'm going to use supplementary angles. So notice G and H are supplementary. Angle G, angle H are supplementary. They're on that straight line. And so since H is 100, angle G must be 80 degrees. Okay, so I'm finding all these values, right? Angle G is 80 degrees. And then let's keep going. If G is angle 100 is 80 degrees, its vertical angle is F. So number 4, by vertical angles, angle F is also 80 degrees. And let's do F with its corresponding angle B. So by corresponding angles, if F is 80, B, upper right, angle B would be 80. And finally, by vertical angles, if B is 80, then C is 80 degrees as well. I think we did all the angles there. Okay, that kind of give you an idea of an example involving corresponding angles. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.